Is that new guy you're dating a cheater, a liar, or something even worse like a serial killer? Well, you can find out by crowdsourcing information about him. Today on The News with Brigida, we discuss social media groups aimed at protecting women, like private Facebook groups titled, "Are We Dating the Same Guy?" While these groups are designed to warn women about dangerous men, allegations may be unfounded. So we ask if "Are We Dating the Same Guy" pages are more helpful or harmful. Ladies, let's say you're dating a new guy that you just met on a dating app. You don't know anything about him other than what he's curated on his dating profile. Everything looks great, but we all know that social media is not reality. What if you could crowdsource information about him from other women on the dating scene to find out if he's dangerous or toxic? Well, it turns out you can. Just post his picture and his first name in your local social media group titled, "Are We Dating the Same Guy?" and wait for the tea and red flags to pour in. Since 2022, when these groups started appearing on social media, a lot of men have been outraged to learn that their photos have been posted. But if you're a good guy, you're not really gonna care, right, Tyson?
What? Me? I feel like you're accusing me of something.
I'm not accusing you.
Actually, yes. I've had two friends who have found themselves on this site. One of my guy friends popped up on there and he was very upset. And then I have another female friend who wasn't on there, but she got on there to look up this guy she was dating and found out she was dating a guy known as the Swindler of Sherman Oaks.
Oh no.
And there were like 50 women that had stories about him and that he would go out and he'd basically just do anything he could to have sex with them and then just leave. He would lie to them, make up stories, promise them all kinds of things, and then just ditch completely, ghost them.
We've all been there. We've all dated a guy like that.
I guess he was a sect addict, that was his defense. And then
Swindler of Sherman Oaks.
But I think that this site, despite some people being upset about it, is a good public service overall, despite there being naturally some kind of problems.
Yeah, look, these pages are to warn women about abusive, dangerous men on the dating scene. And the slogan for many of these private groups is "Protect women, not judge men." Of course, that doesn't always happen. It doesn't play out that way all the time. But members do mostly warn women about men who allegedly stalk them, harass, assault, catfish, and pose an alleged threat to their physical safety. While other users warn the community about the untrustworthy, those alleged cheaters and ghosters. All right, Tyson, you're a guy, so what if you found yourself on one of these pages? How would you feel about it?
How would I feel? It just so happens that I do know how I would feel, because it happened to me. So yeah, earlier this year, I got contacted by a female friend who said that you're on this site, "Are We Dating the Same Guy LA?" And I was like, what, me? I didn't know who it was, and nobody had anything bad to say about me. There was a random person who laughed, but then they got kicked off.
Yeah, because that's breaking the rules. You're not allowed to laugh and make comments other than first-hand accounts.
The girl sent me the picture of the person, which she's not allowed to do.
Yeah, she broke the rules.
She broke the rules by telling me. But it was someone I had never met, never seen before in my life. So it was just a random, there are random people on there too.
Did you ever find out who posted your photo on there?
I did. I found out it was a girl that I had dated who just wondering if I was secretly married or something.
Yeah, that's a common concern that women have as well. Obviously, you're a single guy dating around. That's very different than being married or having a long-term girlfriend.
Yeah,
We've all also been there. Look, I've had several boyfriends who had completely secret lives, and they were filming sex tapes behind my back, and then their friends eventually told me about it, and it ended up being a big disaster. But had a site like this existed, we could have all come together, and also, maybe the Harvey Weinsteins and the Bill Cosbys of the world could have been caught earlier.
Yeah, right. I mean, even though I was on there and it felt weird, I support the existence of the site, and I think it's a good public service to have. And it was a test for me, because I was like, when I saw myself on there, I was like, are some girls going to lie about me? Because a lot of guys claim they're all lying. And no one lied about me. Someone did laugh.
Yeah, I think that the amount of people that go on and post false allegations is much smaller than, the narrative would have you believe. But there have been instances, I'm sure, in which, an angry ex-girlfriend can go on there and write whatever she wants about somebody. Right. So I think it's on the users of these groups to take everything that they read with a grain of salt. But these groups do provide informed consent. If I'm dating someone and I post their picture up there and then I learn some information about them, I can choose to confront the man if it's not super dangerous scenario, or if it's just like a cheating thing, then I can confront him, or I can choose not to, and I can choose whether I want to proceed seeing him or whether I don't want to see him anymore at all. So it does help women just have a little bit more caution.
Right, and I support the caution. And the girl that did post me on there told me about it, came clean, and I said that's fine, and we laughed about it.
Yeah, and like you said, there are very strict rules that these groups are supposed to follow in terms of the kind of information that can be posted. So you can post a photo of a man with his first name, but you can't post any other identifying information like his last name, his place of work, any religious information, social media handles, things like that. But people in the comments can then respond. And some of the men who have sued over these groups have said that, a woman posted their photo in there, and then the people who commented, these guys that are suing, allege that the people who commented did not know them. Whether that's true or not remains to be found in court, I guess.
Yeah, and while it's possible anything could happen, it's possible there could be bad actors. From my experience, I think by and large the majority of people are.
Yeah, I think so too. And to any men that are worried, maybe you should behave better if you're so worried about it, so that you don't end up on one of these with a bunch of allegations, posted there.
Thou dost protest too much sort of situation.
Yes, but of course, unfounded allegations can absolutely ruin someone's life. It can ruin their marriage, their relationship, they can lose their job, they can have ostracization from the community at large. So there are consequences, and these pages are moderated by other Facebook users. So are those people always on top of it? Are they always able to catch people who are behaving badly?
Right.
I don't know.
I think the quality of the moderation is really important, and I'm lucky that someone was moderating my post, and they seemed very like a responsible person, taking down the random troll that was laughing at pictures for no reason.
Yeah, and like you said,
or bot. It could have been a bot.
It could have been a bot, totally. And like you said, your friend alerted you that you were on this page. That's actually against the rules, and a lot of times if men find out that, let's say, you found your page, let's say you who reached out to the moderators to take down that post, they might take it down as long as you're willing to rat out the girl who told you about it, because the point of these groups is that it remains closed because it's supposed to protect women, and you're seen as violating the integrity of the group and the safety of the women in that group by sharing information that you find there. What if you were somebody who was a terrible, dangerous man and your friend warned you? Maybe she didn't know that about you, but you turned out to be horrible, and then you retaliated against the woman who posted that initial post. So there are a lot of things to consider. I do think these groups are incredibly helpful as a woman, and I've talked to you about this before, having you walk me out to my car sometimes, because I'm like, we're scared that at any time a man can just overpower us. And you're like, oh, I didn't stop to think that women are scared of everything.
Well, I was saying that in my past, I didn't realize that up until a certain point. And there are a lot of men now that still don't realize that the sense of danger that a woman experiences walking into a parking lot is something they live with every day. And being a man, you don't think about it at all or even realize that that's a concern for women.
Yeah, and when women are sexually assaulted, oftentimes it is by a friend or an acquaintance, a coworker, something like that. So these groups, I think, are really great.
So up until recently, these sites were secretive. You had to just tell another girlfriend about it. But then some news story broke. What's the status of the news story with the guy that's suing over it?
So there are a couple different men who are suing. I believe the first guy was this guy in Chicago, and he sued 27 women and Meta and Facebook for over $75,000 in damages, claiming that he was defamed and doxxed, and that his privacy was violated after statements in the group affected his reputation. Illinois has a new anti-doxing law, so he might actually have grounds to potentially win some of these damages. And other men have sued over these groups, but legal grounds are a little bit shakier since a lot of what was posted in there is either opinion or it's true. So a lot of that is protected by free speech law rather than seen as defamation. So we'll have to watch the outcome of these cases to see what happens. So yes, I support these groups entirely, but on the other hand, if the tables were turned and my photo was posted on one of these groups without my knowledge or consent, and it ruined my life because the allegations were completely false, or because I had made a past mistake, like cheating on someone or ghosting someone, it would
Or dirty texting.
Or dirty texting. It would suck to have that kind of private relationship information posted publicly for everyone to see, to judge me, to cancel me, to ostracize me, whatever it is. So I don't think that those behaviors are acceptable, and cheating especially can pose a health safety risk. So I don't love that. But again, is that something that your whole life should be turned upside down for in the court of public opinion? Look, without the entire context of a story and getting information from both sides, users need to exercise a lot of caution. Don't take everything you read on the internet as the gospel, the final truth about someone's character, but definitely listen to it, put it in your brain, consider it, and ask yourself whether continuing to date this person is something that you should do or not.
Anyway, it's a case-by-case basis.
Yes, case-by-case basis, but as you and I both agree, this is a really good resource for people, especially for women who are more vulnerable, who, like I said, men can overpower us. We've all dated those toxic men, at least probably a majority of women have, men who are living secret double lives.
Oh yeah, every
really
girlfriend
sucks.
that I've talked to has told me terrible stories about men.
Yeah.
I would hate to have to date guys.
Yeah,
Sounds
and I'm
awful.
Sure, on the flip side, I'm sure there are many men who have been fooled by women. So that's called dating. The game has changed now, and there is so much public information. So everybody behave yourselves, lest you find yourself on one of these sites with a bunch of allegations that are probably going to be true.
Right. And anything you text could end up in public. It's like it's not private.
And so can your dating profile photo. What do you think about Are We Dating the Same Person groups? Do you support them? Do you think they're problematic? Have you ever found yourself on one like Tyson?
Do you believe I'm innocent?
Let us know in the comments, and be sure to subscribe to the News with Brigida if you like this show. Thanks for watching. I'm your host, Brigida, and that's Tyson.
And I'm not a serial killer, I promise. I promise.
Thou doth protest too much.
Okay.